What's up, guys? It's been a little minute. Sorry it's been a little while since I've uploaded anything, especially as far as the car is concerned. I had a little bit of personal stuff going on for a little bit, and it's just been a little bit of a struggle to film, but I'm back with an update, so let's just get straight to the point. So, as you can see, motor's back in the car. So I think where I left off last, I was like getting ready to connect the trans to the motor and route the new harness and such. I just came across a couple difficulties. Like when I went to put the flywheel on, I stripped 2 bolts, so I had to wait like a week to get those. And then the harness that I was gonna put on is sitting right there. There was just a couple complications with it. It's just, I had a couple buddies who are familiar with these cars look at it and help me. Specifically a buddy, Jacob Parker, and he was just looking at it, and it looked in his eyes like it would give me more of an issue than what it was worth. So he went ahead and he hooked me up with a car, with a harness from a car that he was parting out, and that's what's currently on the car. So I've had the motor in probably 4 or 5 days. I think a week now. Coming up on a week. Doesn't matter. Went through a bunch of stupid issues. At first, it wouldn't start because, well, we thought it wouldn't start because of my crank sensor. The connector itself was messed up, and the pigtail was messed up, so we repaired both of those, and at that point, the car was seeing spark, because I wasn't at first, because of the crank sensor. So then I went and checked to see if I had fuel. So, I don't know, it's weird. I had fuel coming from the feed line. I had fuel. I had spark at the same time, and for a moment I was able to start it off with starting fluid. So I was a little bit confused as to why I was getting, you know what I mean, I was getting fuel to the rail, but it wasn't. So I figured it was an injector issue. However, when I went to go chase that issue last night, actually, Jacob came down, he was lending me a hand, and we went and pulled that fuel line off, and I'm not getting any more fuel to the rail. So what we're looking at down here is the fuel filter on this car. The line that's disconnected, this banjo line right here. So that guy is the feed that runs to the bay. So last night when Parker came here, we pulled the fuel hat off back here. Excuse the mess. We pulled this off, and we saw that I was getting fuel out of the fuel hat, which kind of confused us. Like I said, coming out of the fuel hat, not getting to the rail, so that's why we disconnected the filter. Having that feed line disconnected, we should be having fuel spew out of the filter itself, but nothing's coming out. So aside from my intermittent fuel issues, like getting to the rail and then not getting to the rail and coming out of the fuel hat but still not coming to the rail, and then I had it and then spark it, I don't know, there's just a bunch going on with the fuel. Aside from that, I have an implausible cam code, which tells me either like the sensor or is bad, the pigtail to the sensor could be damaged, or my worst fear is that the cam chain timing could be off by like a tooth or two. I'll insert a clip of when I got it to start and kind of like idle off of starting fluid. We're trying to get some fault codes, so don't roast me in the comments about having it idle off of starting fluid. I know that's not bad for your car, but that is like, it's not happening a lot. It's not happening again, and it wasn't a frequent thing. So don't go AWire talking about that's not healthy for your car. I'm very well aware. I just needed to get some fault codes. I'll put that video in. It sounds really smooth, so I don't really think that it's off by much if the cam chain timing is off. That needs to be fixed. And then, if you look, I'm not really going to be able to show you guys very well, but underneath this blue auxiliary pump connector, see that shiny little banjo bolt, what this is leading to. That's one of the turbo feed lines. I believe both sides right there are leaking oil, because when I said when it got pressure, when it idled for a second, you might be able to notice it in the video, it just started dripping oil. That needs to be fixed. And then when the motor and trans was out of the car, I was able to feel the gears like as I normally would. It felt like it was grabbing, selecting. As of right now, this is how it feels, and I'm not really sure why. Something must have become, I didn't tighten something. It came loose when we put it in the car. Something or another. It didn't go the way that it should have. So, needless to say, the motor's got to come back out. However, my plan is to wait. I'm going to replace the fuel filter. That's a little bit of a pain. I want to replace that and get fuel to the bay before I do that. And I want to be able to like crank it with the crank signal. It's going to be much easier to diagnose getting fuel with the motor in. So I'm going to get fuel to the bay. I'm going to replace that filter, and pray to God it's just a clogged filter, and I can get fuel to the bay. Once I get fuel to the bay, I'm going to pull the motor back out, fix those leaks, figure out the trans issue, whether it's link it, whatever it may be. I'm gonna fix that issue, and then once over everything, and I believe my buddy Jacob Parker is gonna come back down, and he's gonna kind of help me with the reinstall, because let's be honest, folks, I'm just kind of freeballing it here, and having somebody with as much knowledge as he has in my corner helping me has been an extremely big help. So he's in agreement. It would probably be best that he's here when I go to reinstall it, just to make sure I don't have to pull it back out again and I'm not just missing anything stupid. Yeah. So that's where we're at. Probably not the update you were looking for. Frankly, it's not the one I was looking for either. It's unfortunate, but that's just the name of the game. I really don't know what I'm doing when it comes to this stuff. And honestly, I kind of figured that I'd have some issues. I just didn't figure it would be as many like weird small issues as I've had. Like that fuel issue has me stumped. But that's where I'm leaving for today. That's all I really got for today. I'm not going to work on it on this video. I'm real tired. I've been working a bunch and then just getting directly off work and working back on this thing, trying to figure it out for the past week. So I'm going to take a little bit of a break today, but I did want to give you guys an update as far as what's going on with the car, where I've been, what the next steps are and such. And I'm back. I'm not going to, I'm going to try and stick with the uploads and vlogging everything. There was just a lot going on, and I do apologize for the disappearing on you guys. But we're back. We're going to get it back on the road eventually. Have faith. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. As always, drop a like, subscribe, comment if you want to. We'll see you next time.